I will send my terror ahead of you, and throw into confusion every nation you encounter. I will make all your enemies turn their backs and run. Exodus 23 verse 27. When God spoke these words, the Israelites were on their way to the Promised Land. It was the land God had promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, centuries earlier. Yet the land was not empty, it was occupied by powerful nations, with fortified cities, experienced armies, and well-established kingdoms. From a human perspective, Israel had every reason to be afraid. They had lived as slaves in Egypt for about 400 years, they had little military experience, no permanent homeland, and were about to face enemies who were stronger, larger, and better equipped. Humanly speaking, victory seemed impossible. That is why God gave them this promise. He wanted them to understand that their future would not depend on their own strength, but on His presence. Throughout Exodus 23 verses 20 to 33, notice how often God says, I will. The emphasis is not on what Israel could do, but on what God would do on their behalf. Before Israel entered the land, God had already gone before them. He would prepare the way, confuse their enemies, and accomplish what they could never achieve by their own power. Yet God also told them that He would not remove every enemy in a single year. Instead, He would drive them out little by little, because if the land became empty too quickly, it would become desolate, and wild animals would multiply. God knew what was best for His people. This teaches us an important truth: God's timing is just as important as His promises. Sometimes we wonder why God does not answer our prayers immediately, or remove every obstacle at once, but God sees what we cannot see. He prepares both the path before us, and our hearts within us. His delays are never signs of His absence, they are often evidence of His wisdom. We also face situations that seem far beyond our ability. The same God who went before Israel, still goes before His children today. He is able to make our enemies turn their backs, and flee according to His perfect will. We may not understand everything that is happening in our lives, but God does. He knows the purpose behind every delay, every closed door, every difficult season, and every unexpected turn. Our responsibility is not to understand every step, but to trust the one who leads us. The God who promised to go before Israel is the same God who goes before His children today. If we continue to walk with Him, in faith and obedience, He will lead us into the place He has prepared for us, in His perfect way, and in His perfect time. So do not let fear rule your heart. The road may be uncertain, but God is already there. Trust Him, follow Him, and He will faithfully bring you to the destination He has promised. Amen.